Lab Coat Agents, look like we are live on Facebook now. Good to see everybody. Dale Archedekin, this is Brian Curtis, and we are back for another episode of Cash Call Today. I have a couple of interesting calls that I want to listen to. And, you know, as we're coaching people and, you know, playing their calls and going through what these salespeople do and don't do, this is an error that I run into, and that is, you know, I'm going to play it. And we're going to hear the example, and we're going to hear what happens. But Brian, when you know a salesperson asks a question like, Brian, so you said you're planning on saving up more money for your down payment. Is that because you want to lower your monthly payment, or just because you want to look better on paper? Now, I've just asked you a question that could be a good discovery question. What's, you know, how did you decide to save up more money? But then I went and I gave you two options. And in this case, there are two options out of a lot of different options that could be reality. The problem is, which you'll see when we listen to the call, is worst case scenario, you just say, yep, and I'm dead. Now I got to figure out where else to go. Or it doesn't jive with you and it's no, and I'm totally wrong, and you feel, and we're farther from being in rapport because I didn't guess the right things about you. Also, you know, so let's play, because I want people to hear what happens. Like, you and I can talk about that as a concept, but let's actually hear what happens when a salesperson does that.
Perfect.
Let me find my, got to find the right folder. No, hold on, I thought I had my right folder up. Let me bring up the right folder. Brian, do you have anything that you want to listen to today?
I do. I've got a couple of calls, some good stuff, in my opinion. And, you know, part of it is, and the irony, both of these calls ended up in appointments, which is a great thing. Just maybe some little tweaks, just little things that we can make sure that we're just little tweaks, you know, we're not being too aggressive, that we're understanding our clients' needs. And I think that that's important. I think sometimes we measure success on, did I set an appointment? That's one metric for sure, but it's not the only metric, because sometimes we set an appointment and it ends up blowing up. You know, we get no showed, we get, you know, my favorite, we've talked about this before, is you go and show them a property and you say, hey, so we'd like to set up time to go, what, you know, actually we got 3 more appointments this afternoon. You're like, oh.
We're the best.
Definitely some good things that can happen in here. And I have an audio problem, so I'm going to put on my headset. Hopefully that'll fix it. So,
all right, Brian, I was also going to say the best one is you set an appointment to show a house and they show up with their agent.
That's
like,
a
hi, Susie. Hi, Susie. Oh, are you Susie? Oh no, I'm Susie's agent. That's Susie. Oh, what is this?
So yeah, it's right. Discovery is required. In case I think that should be the theme. Discovery is required.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's listen to where this guy puts in too many options. Now that I have it.
Hello, Lexington. This is Dick T. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. Just giving you a quick call to follow up. I got word of you browsing homes on my team's home search site online.
Also, I instructed this guy not to use so much like throwaway language in there. It's like clouding up the message. There's no reason for all of that.
I agree.
But let's stick with the point.
And I wanted to know, are you still in the market for a home, or did you find something?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not looking right now, or you already found something?
No, I'm not looking right now.
Oh.
He got lucky there. He said, you're not looking right now, or did you find something, right? He said, not looking right now. Okay, that's a small example of it, and we're going to hear some bigger examples of it. So this agent came up with, I guess the two possibilities are you're not looking or you found something. Hey, Brian, are you not looking or did you find something? You say, not looking. I didn't learn anything from that, right? As opposed to, what stopped your search, right? That would be a better question to ask.
100%.
And I'm not going to offer solutions to it. Hey, what stopped your search? You got to fill in the blank, right? I'm not going to fill it in. Let's hear another example where he fills in the blanks, unfortunately.
Well, okay, gotcha. Have plans
Yeah.
changed, or they just been postponed?
Hit it
More so
again.
just postponed. I'm just I'm waiting to accumulate more background money in order to have that in place before I start looking more seriously again.
Gotcha. So, like you're looking for more of like your down payment or like increasing income for the mortgage application type of thing?
So again, he just presented two options. So listen to what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. We're still not learning anything. So
Well, and also you put yourself in a box, right? What's
Yeah.
the next question? It's not that there is no next question, but you've basically given him choice A, choice B, choice A, choice B, whatever. I mean, you know,
okay. And in that last example, he was like, choice A or choice B. Yeah. Shit. What do I do now?
So yeah, you know, and we've talked about this before. You know, for me, a successful call, and we're, you know, most of us good salespeople, we're high-eyed people. We want to talk. The objective should be to get the buyer slash client slash seller, whatever you want to talk more than you. And it's one of those things that I think, you know, it's funny because we were talking about this earlier is, you know, I came up with 4 objectives of a phone call. I'm going to start adding some more. I want people to think about this from the perspective of, hey, can I get them to talk more? I mean, what a
Yeah.
great thing to do. What's one of my objectives of a phone call? To get the other person to talk more than me. That's a great outcome. I don't care what it is. If the person's talking, you're winning.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what I said to this salesperson is, listen, one, you're too far out in front of this guy, right? You're too smart. You keep trying to like figure out the answer when really he has the answer. You need to get it. You need to get his answer from him and make him say it. Stop trying to guess what his answer is and put it in his mouth because you're just losing when you do that. And the other thing, Brian, we've talked about this before, is from in the way that way that my company does things, the way that we teach things is there's discovery and then there's closing, right? There's discovery and there's closing. When I'm closing, I want to lead you, right? Hey, Brian, you said you wanted this, right? And you said you wanted that, right? And don't you think it's a great idea for you to get this and that together in this way, right? Hey, yes, okay, wonderful. That's leading. Discovery is you're being led, right? Hey, Brian, when should we do that? Why should we do that? What will that get for us? How's that going to matter to us? Is that the best way to do it? Right? All those things. That is discovery, where you're asking questions without leading at all. You're like, dude, you tell me what the program is. You tell me the way this works, right? That's what I needed them to understand.
Sure, and I've got an answer for this, but you know, in that scenario, basically the guy said, "I'm saving more money." Right? That was it, basically.
He wanted to save up more money for his down payment.
So let's you know, so Dale, what's keeping you from buying a house right now? Okay, and you just answer that like I want to see.
Yeah, I want to. So I'm saving up some more down payment, so I have that ready when I'm ready to start seriously looking again.
You know, perfect. You know, a lot of people I talk to that they tell me that. You know, out of curiosity, what's the benefit of that to you? So
great question.
What's the benefit, guys? I would have a couple of stock questions that I ask when I don't know where to go. Out of curiosity, and what's the benefit are two really good things that you can go to if you don't know what to go to. Versus, and again, this guy was super smart. He came up with a couple of answers. The problem is that may not have been the right answer. And if you say A or B, that implies that those were the only two options. Would you like to buy a house or not buy a house? Okay, you know, I want to not buy a house. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm screwed. Or I want to buy a house. You know, it puts you in boxes. Stop putting yourself in boxes. Ask open-ended questions. And Dallas talked about this at length. What is the benefit of that for you?
Right. And for those of you who are tired of hearing the word benefit, try advantage or try important. Okay.
Yeah. You
What's
can
important
change up
about
the
for
verbiage, but I can tell you this: if you listen to phone calls that I make, and I know I'm not doing a lot of lead generation, but I do lead generation for recruiting. So basically, I'm doing recruiting phone calls. You know, what's the benefit? I say people, if they listen to me all the time, would go, Brian, stop saying out of curiosity, because I abuse that phrase. But here's the reality of it. I only said it twice to the person I talked to on the phone. They don't know that I said it 17 other times today. So am I abusing that term? Maybe, but Not really, because I'm only saying it 2 or 3 times to one particular person. It's just that I'm saying it over and over and over again. People think that you and I have these gazillion scripts set aside and we're going to go through. We don't. We ask a couple of questions. And if you want to get really good at lead generation, it's about asking the questions that get other people to talk. What's the benefit? Out of curiosity, those are two of my favorites that really help us a lot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Brian. That's so one of the things, historically, so both and I are coaches and trainers, and, historically with a lot of coaching and training, it has been more about, hey, say this script. Here's the script, read the script, stay to the script, do this. And now I got to write a script for everything that you do.
Mhm.
And, I focus a lot more on concept and tactic, right? I focus on your thought, like, what do you, how, understanding what you're trying to do, what that person is trying to do, and how you can make them come together. And really, that's about, let me do as much understanding of you as I possibly can, where you, unvarnished, tell me what your story is and how you're doing the math. And then I proceed to try to help you do your math to get the same or better outcome in a different way. I just try to change the formula. That's all I do.
Right. And basically, also what you're doing is you're gathering information so you can close, right? That's,
Exactly.
I mean, it's just a different way of saying the same thing. Dale talked about closing a couple of minutes ago. Well, I can't close. I mean, I can, but it's not effective until I have enough information. And again, I've said this is my favorite way to look at this, a puzzle. I'm looking for all the puzzle pieces so I can put them all together so I know how I can help you. A lot of people are just throwing darts. So I can help you this way and this way and this way and this way. That will work sometimes, but
Yeah.
why not gather the information, slow down, and just ask more of those questions so that you can get more information. Now, every once in a while, you get somebody saying you're keeping me too long, but I just used that on the phone until I noticed I was providing. Yeah. So, one of the,
Right, Maria,
Maria,
you were like, I keep giving them the answers and I'm not learning anything.
yeah. And that's exactly right. You can't learn if you give them the answers. So I
Yeah,
love it.
good.
Perfect.
So that segues into this next call that I have, and I want you to hear this. Talking about asking questions and getting discovery, I want you to hear this. And this agent also does a similar problem of giving the answer.
Hello.
Hello, Ryan. This is Steve. How are you today?
Oh, good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. The reason for my call, Ryan, is I noticed a little while back you had signed up on one of our websites to browse for homes for sale. So I just wanted to give you a quick call and see if you're still in the market for a new place or if you're simply browsing just to see what was going on out there.
Just browsing for right now.
Just browsing for right now. I guess you're not really actively looking, just trying to see what's going on out there.
Oh, okay. You wanted to say no to me because you're not buying a house, right? That's
Be careful
basically what
that yeah, be careful you don't sound like a jerk. Like I thought, that was a little jerky.
I think it's just her presentation. She's
Okay.
not, I mean, of course it is your interpretation. I didn't quite hear it that way, but what I did hear was, oh, okay, you don't want to buy from me because you don't need to buy from me? Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I don't need to buy from you. Oh, where do I go now?
Yep, that's right.
For sure. So what do you think your timeline is like? I guess maybe not 2021 to start shopping, but maybe next year or?
Wait a minute. When did you decide I can't buy this year?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Yeah.
Maybe next year. And do you have any idea of where you're looking to find a new place, like city-wise?
Probably in Toronto.
Probably in Toronto. Do you currently live in Toronto?
Yep.
Currently live there. So do you own right now or rent?
I own.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Well, I totally understand that it's very early on in your house.
No, you don't fully understand that. You barely understand it at all.
Hunt, but I'd love to maybe keep in touch and follow up with you sometime this fall, perhaps, if that's all right.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your time, Ryan. We'll be in touch. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
So that is devoid of discovery, right? I don't know. I'd love to hear your take on it after I give you mine, which is that I think that she just got stumped at I'm just looking right now, and then she just sort of backwards confirmed that there was no business there. and then she tried to have kind of a half-assed discovery conversation as she knows she's supposed to, and then just left it with an open-ended, like nothing clearly resolved in terms of follow-up.
Yeah, and I agree 100% with what you just said. And here's the thing I think people should understand. If you're going to ask the question, are you just browsing? Expect to get a yes 80 to 90% of the time.
Be prepared for that.
I mean, especially if you're working Facebook, PPC leads, those are great leads, and the ROI on them is great if you're a good long-term nurturer. But understand that, are you just browsing? I'm just browsing is going to be the answer the majority of the time. So have an answer for that. For me, if someone's just browsing, fabulous. The majority of the people I talk to are just browsing. With that in mind, is there anything specifically that you've seen that you liked, or is there anything that you're specifically looking for? The reason I ask is because, I look at houses a lot, and I'd love to, at least shoot something over to you if something makes sense. I don't like the just browsing question, Dale. I like window shopping.
I use window shopping too.
And here's the reason I use window shopping is I've got a whole, we talk about the puzzle. I've got a whole thing, and I'm coming back to at the end of the call that says, Dale, you mentioned that you were just window shopping at the beginning of the call, and I understand. And like I said, the majority of the people who go to our website, that's what they're doing. With that in mind, oftentimes you can't really get a feel for that what the value of a house is by just looking online. The pictures are fabulous these days, but realistically, something about a feel. Houses are about feeling. We live there. We do it. So I would love to do just a little bit of window shopping with you. I've got time on Thursday and Friday. Which of those days might look better to go just look at 2 or 3 houses so I can get an idea what you're window shopping for?
Yeah.
Now, let me say this: that doesn't work 100% of the time.
Mm-mm.
But that 10 to 20% of the time, they're like, yeah, because here's the reality. A lot of people love to look at houses, right? How many times have you sat in an open house or heard stories of people sitting in an open house and people just came by because they like to look at some houses? Well, guess what? This is an opportunity to go and meet somebody, give them service above and beyond. By the way, maybe they'll break down a little bit. And when I mean break down, like those walls will come down after you meet them in person. They like you have a good time together. And maybe you get to even do a little bit better discovery and find out just browsing was we're looking to buy something this summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you and I know that the process from the time that somebody becomes a lead or a client, it takes, 60, 70 days to close a lot of times in between, the actual closing time and finding the right property. So realistically, but agents, buyers don't think that way. I want to buy a house in June. When are you going to start looking? May 15th. That's where they're at. Because why?
Right.
Because they don't understand. And it's not because they're bad people. It's just because they don't buy houses and sell houses every day. That's what we do. So
yeah, absolutely. I would say that probably most agents do not ask people to go window shop with them. Have you ever heard an agent, and I train that too, to use that as a script doing the window shopping with people. Have you ever heard an agent ask somebody to window shop with them?
I've not listened
Maybe
to
on
the
your
phone
time
call.
if you've trained it, but
Yeah, we train it.
good.
I've not listened to the phone calls to find that. That's a really good point. I need to really hammer that home because I just think it's an opportunity. Again, for me, and Dale, you talk to tons of clients all the time, or tons of agents all the time. I've never heard a single agent tell me they're better on the phone than in person. Not a single one.
No, well, there's a few of the weird ones who don't
Okay.
have a lot,
And that's
like
cool.
me. No, I'm not better. Yeah, so there are people who are like, listen, I just want to sit in the corner and be on the phone.
But reality, that's maybe 5% of agents in the country at the most, right?
Most of them are ISAs.
Right, exactly. And that's why they're doing
That's
that,
what
because
they're
they don't
doing.
want to. But yeah, but actual just regular agents, most of them will tell you, and I've heard this hundreds of times. I'm so much better in person. As a matter of fact, a guy I'm coaching, one of the people on his team said, "Oh, I'm so much better." He was talking about how much better she was in person. So why wouldn't our objective, if we're going to assume that we're better in person, why wouldn't our objective be to get in person?
Yeah.
And I don't care if they're 6 months out, a year out, 2 years out, 5 years out, never going to buy. Get in front of them in person, find out. It's just, I don't know, it makes so much sense to me. And maybe I'm missing something, but it makes a ton of sense to me.
No, I think that does make sense. We got like 8 minutes left. Do you think you can get a call in?
I can. I got a short one that'll go. I've got a longer one. I'll just save it for next week. But all right, let me hit share screen here and get this going. Share the notes and share sound. Okay. So tell me if you can't hear
that
this.
you're interested possibly in a house in Rogers, is that right?
Yes. I don't know. I think I clicked on the wrong one. Is this for the one on Broadway?
Yeah, it was
And
for the one on
Rogers?
Broadway. Yeah, are you
Okay.
trying to set an appointment to see this house? I could show it to you if you'd like.
Yes, but it would have to be after work. Yesterday we were both off, so we were hoping that we could have done it yesterday, but we're working now. Do you
Yeah,
have
that's
anything
perfect.
available at like 5?
5 would work great. Tomorrow at 5, Broadway? Today, you said?
Yeah, we can do today.
Okay, perfect. Let's see, 1 second.
So I wanted to point something out. This is a realtor.com lead. So they've made a very direct inquiry about a house. I might have done a little bit more warm up. I like the aggressiveness. Hey, do you want to go see the house? And so one of the things I want you guys to consider is if you're making phone calls, understand your lead source. A Facebook lead, you probably don't want to say, do you want to go see the house, in my opinion, because realistically, they're top of funnel leads, right? Realtor.com, Zillow, sign calls, things like that are bottom of the funnel leads potentially, or at least more potentially. So
Usually
it's okay
as close
to be,
as we get.
yeah, it's more okay to be aggressive. So I just want to, point that out. If this is a pay-per-click lead, I'm not leading with, hey, you want to go see the house? Or like, what house?
Right.
So, understand your lead source, I think, is an important part of that. So
Yeah.
we'll listen to a couple more minutes of this.
Can I get your first and last name, please?
Ashley Kendrick.
Sorry.
Ashley Kendrick. Ashley. And I'm sorry, Miss Ashley, while I have you on the phone, let me gather some information. Just out of curiosity, do you own a home right now?
We do.
Or do you rent?
We own.
You own?
Yes.
Let's see.
I want you guys to listen to this close because this is done okay, but it can be done better.
Is your home currently on the market?
No.
Okay. And let's see, how soon are y'all wanting to be in a new home?
We really don't. We've just been kind of playing with the idea. And we saw this one, and is this the one that I think we're looking, if I'm thinking of the right one, we were kind of interested in seeing like the floor plans, and is this like the under construction one where you can kind of design your own build? Is this the right?
I think so. So
right
there's
one.
currently 2 available right now, I think, that are under construction. We can look at both of them just so you have an idea of the different floor plans out there.
Okay.
Let's see. And you're not currently working with another agent, are you?
No.
Okay.
So
And then,
can you pause there?
I'm not sure.
I think she was doing good. Here's what I would say. Before she gets to the other agent thing, why? Like, I want you to tell me the positive reasons that you're looking to move houses, that you're looking to get a new house. I want you emotionally happy and charged up about your concept before I ask you if you have an agent that you're working with. Do you know what I mean?
Too.
Because I want to put you in a positive mindset. I want to put a positive spin on the conversation before I ask you that agent question.
And here's the thing for me, I still never ask that question. I want to frame it differently. And here's what I mean by that. So Dale, it sounds like you've looked at some houses. Sounds like maybe online. I'm out of curiosity. Have you gone and looked at any houses in person? No, we haven't. Okay, well, to me that equals I don't have an agent. If you haven't looked in person, you don't have an agent. That's not 100% true, but I'm willing to take that risk. Or, yeah, no, we've looked at a bunch of houses. Oh, really? So out of curiosity, are you just going to open houses? Are you, looking at, because it's new construction, have you just been driving through neighborhoods? Who's showing you the houses? Oh, we work with Bob at Remax. Oh, crap, or, no, we just, we've called a couple listing agents. We've been to some open houses. Oh, so it sounds to me like you're not committed to work with any particular agent. You're just trying to figure out what's best for you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So understand when you ask the question, and this person obviously is very easy to work with, but sometimes when you ask that question, they go, oh, good, I'm going to get out of this conversation now. Yep, I do have an agent and I've been working with him for a long time. Oh, crap, now I've got to overcome an objection that I actually created. Because if you think that people won't lie to you to get off the phone, you're in the wrong business. So The other thing I really wanted to point out here is, let's say that she goes and shows this house to this person, and this person absolutely loves this house. We don't know if she has to sell her house or not. We
Yeah.
didn't ask, hey, by the way, if you do love this house, is this a situation where you need to sell your house first, or are you willing to carry 2 payments for, a short period of time?
Yeah, definitely need that in there.
So I'll pay some more of it.
You guys been looking at price ranges yet? Is this something that works in your price range?
Yes, it does, but we haven't got with the lender or anything yet. We've just really, I've been kind of wanting to move closer into town because we live in Centerton right now. And so we've just been kind of playing with the idea. And so we saw this one and we both were interested in it. So that's why we reached out to see if we could.
Yeah, wonderful. No, that sounds great. I'll be happy to show this to you. So I'll go ahead and make an appointment, and then I'll text you to confirm that it's been confirmed. And
Okay.
I will see you at 5.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miss Ashley.
Thank
So, yeah, and basically that call ended there. The other thing, and I've been coaching my agents on this, and this is a newer agent on our team, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that they haven't caught on to this yet. I want every call that it's a positive call. In other words, we got an appointment to finish with this. By the way, Ashley, if you happen to see anything else that you're interested, call me. I can show you literally at any house in the state.
Yes, the wrap-up statements.
If you're not buttoning up your calls, they're going to hang up, get back on Zillow, realtor.com, my website, whatever, and they're going to start calling other agents. And it's funny because I've talked to somebody else about this morning too, is people, why would we expect that buyers, sellers would understand our industry, how we get paid, how things work? Agents need to stop making the assumption that the buyers and sellers have any idea how it works. No, some of them do, right? Some of them can tell us more than most agents.
Right. We're one of the few industries, though, where the salespeople of a company that you call don't get paid anything. We're one of the few industries where that happens. So
Right.
we're out of the ordinary. With most every other company that you deal with, the salesperson or customer support is getting paid to help you.
Absolutely. So, and again, stop making the assumption that people understand that about our industry. It's a very, very bad assumption. And the reality is probably 70% of the time they do understand. But do you really want to lose a deal in that 30%? It's just not worth it.
A lot of people don't even understand that we don't work for realtor.com when they call us, that we don't work for Zillow when they call us.
And especially Zillow nowadays, with Zillow changing their models and their language on on television and in radio, they are trying to convince the public, and they are legally a real estate company, but they are trying to convince the public to work with them and work with them. And if you lead with, hey, I work with Zillow, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good thing. Like this person did. Oh yeah, realtor.com asked me to reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Perfect. I love that. But you need to make sure that they understand that we are independent contractors and that it's just a little bit different. We're not this monster, this big corporation that is Zillow. And again, I'm not talking bad about Zillow. I'm just talking, understand who they are, what they're doing, and make sure that you're clearing that up for the people that you're working with so you're not missing opportunities. And we missed an opportunity here also to get a listing appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that I'm going to actually have a conversation with this agent. I'm hope that what we're going to do is go show them this property, and then we're going to get a listing appointment out of it also. But nonetheless, we can't miss that opportunity. Here's one of the things that I want to point out, and I know we're 2 minutes over, that I really like though. Do you currently rent or do you currently own? And we talked about this about 3 weeks ago. Present tense questions, like ask those questions on the front end. Make sure that you're building rapport. I love that she asked that question. So.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so obviously she's getting good training from you guys internally. So it's no surprise that you train your team well. And then I think it's also a good lesson to bring somebody who obviously doesn't have as much experience and is still working on her training to play these calls in here so that people can hear the common errors that get made.
Yeah. So overall, great call. But there's always room for improvement. And I mean, I listened to the other call that I have, which we don't have time to play today, is literally the guy who's going to probably close the most transactions on our team this year. And it's down to 2 people that kind of go head to head. And honestly, his phone call wasn't the best, and he's one of our better agents. So you know, we all have bad days, and you know, at the end of the day, it still worked out, but everybody has
Listen,
bad days.
I have some agents on teams that I coach where they for the most part don't do anything that I tell them to do, how I tell them to do it, or anything like that. And they still sell somewhere between 65 and 75 homes a year.
Wow.
And I'll basically give you the gist of their script. Hey, Brian, this is Dale. Do you want to buy a house, and can I be your agent? No? All right, great. Well, good luck to you.
Well, and here's the truth. If you call enough people and ask them that question,
If you talk to enough people, they talk to a lot of people. And,
Yeah.
you know, like that is just like, there's no nuance, there's no finesse. You know, they just go straight for it. So, hey, even that works.
well, and here's the reality. That'll work better in different markets. Like on the East Coast, that's going to work better than in Middle America. Why? Because the East Coast people, and I grew up in upstate New York, so I know East Coast, and those people, we don't have time. Like it's, you would think that, you know, they only get 20 hours a day instead of 24 as fast as they want to move
Like
through
they're
everything.
shorted.
Yeah, they're like, hey, let's just get to the point, and that's okay. But you know what? Assuming that every single person's going to respond to that is poor. So,
Right.
you know, I'll leave you with this thought. There's only two ways to close more transactions. You can either close the same percentage and talk to more people, or here's an idea. Why not be more successful with the people you're already talking to and listen to what Dale has to say?
Yeah. Do more jobs or do a better job. One or the
Exactly.
other.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Great seeing you today. Thanks for joining Brian and I for Cash Call, and we'll be back next week.
Thanks, everybody.